What's going on, guys, and welcome back. So if you watched the last video, then you probably saw these seats, and if you didn't, go watch it. You gotta watch them all. Anyway, we got these seats here. I'm excited about them. I got them off of Amazon. It took a little while to get here from California, but honestly, the quality, I'll definitely put a link to them. If I don't, harass me and I'll put it in there if I forget, but it's they're nice. I really like them. I hit them with a little leather conditioner, They were maybe a little bit stinky, people said, but I've been letting them kind of air out in here for a while. So, I went on a little vacay and they kind of sat and aired out. So they've been inside, kind of gassing off. And they're not, this one looks a bit better right here. And this one, I guess, it looks a little weird up in here. I think it's just bad quality control, I don't know if it needs to be pulled tighter with the hog rings in the back or if it's just like not stitched right or whatever, but it really doesn't matter. And I assume once they get a little wear, this might change and this one might look like that one or whatever. It's really kind of minor when you look at the whole seat, and I guess that's kind of where you end up sacrificing a little bit of build quality for overall what I hope is still a good working seat. They are really comfortable. Sitting in them is great. So I'm just gonna go ahead and try to start installing them. I'm gonna go heat up the garage. It's still cold here, but I'm gonna heat up the garage and try to see how these fit in the car. I'm gonna yank one of the seats out. So yeah, they're really comfortable. It reclines, which is part of the reason why I decided to go with a cheaper seat rather than, because you can go with like a fixed bucket seat, which is what I was gonna do, like a Corbeau or something like that, and that's gonna end up being, you're probably gonna spend upwards of like $1,000, and it's not gonna recline, which is fine. I don't really care. It's more for everybody else because I know passengers like to recline. I sit upright, all rigid normally, so I feel like it would give me the correct seating position, and you would still have sliders, but the Corbeaus are it's a lot of money, and you get no comfort for other people. And a lot of people say that the bottom, it kind of hurts your butt. So like you spend all that money, and there's still downsides. So in reality, you got to spend more than that to get a seat that's going to be actually nice. So why do all that? Because like a seat like this, like a Recaro or a Corbeau, I don't know, guys, if you've looked, but you're probably going to spend anywhere from maybe $1,500 and up, depending on the kind of upgrades you do, even with like a Corbeau, however you say it. But they have like inflatable lumbar, and if I was going to buy it, I would want to do that. So then it just keeps, it keeps climbing. So these seats, $370 for the two seats. They come with sliders. I feel like it's one of those things where, how bad can a seat be? And as long as you don't have any major imperfections, like I've seen some online that look like really bad. Like they got like a big hole here or something. So, you got to kind of be willing to run the risk of getting something that's not good quality. But overall, they feel nice. I really don't feel like there's a lot of give here. I'm kind of, I think it's okay. I think worst thing that happens is, in a collision, you could have a little bit of problem with the seat. But if you're buckled in and you're coming forward, and you're hitting the seatbelt, otherwise you got hit in the back and you're gonna, get whiplash. But I feel like, I don't know, you're not gonna get hit so hard you break the seat back as possible, I guess. But I don't know. It depends on your size. I feel like if you're a large person, you may have a problem with these. These seats fit me well. They really hug me for my size. And I'm like, say 5'10" and like 160 pounds. So, I'm not exactly a huge person. So I feel like I fit in these pretty well. So you got to kind of keep that in mind. It's, my shoulders, you could see my shoulders are kind of even with the seat. And, a lot of seats you want to get fitted for. But if you're just buying them on Amazon, you kind of got to take what you can get. So if you're a large person, maybe not the best seat for you, but my back is hugged by these areas here, and I feel like it puts me kind of in the correct position. And my thighs, they're like hit by the leg bolsters, which is good because you can't like sit like all like this, you know. So I'm excited to see how they sit in the car, and I'm gonna stop talking and I'm gonna go out there and get started. But I wanted to give you like the preliminary. I think they're really comfortable, so I'm excited, and we'll see how they do in the car. All right, so we're out at the Accord in the garage. I got a little table set up here for me to do my fab work. We'll see what we have to do. I don't know if I'm gonna need to fabricate a bracket or what's gonna go on here. So I have my seat here. I think it's just a couple of 14s in the front and probably a couple of 14s in the back. So I just pulled the plastic cover off. I don't know if there's supposed to be two. I only have one on this. So I'm just gonna pull these two out, this one and this one underneath that handle, and pull both of those, and then I'll slide the seat forward and pull the back out. These seats are tired, guys. They're pretty nasty. So it'll be nice to get those nice leather ones in there, or pleather, you know, fake leather, but still gonna be nice. I'm excited. So I know that the sliders on the racing seats are bottom mount sliders, and we've got this here. I took the seat out, and don't forget to unplug. I believe it's the seatbelt buckle. I wouldn't call it a chime, but it's just the indicator for the seatbelt. So I got it slid all the way forward. I'm gonna attempt to just unbolt, take off these covers and see how I can unbolt this from the seat, and then we'll see what we can do. I don't know, I may have to build some custom bracketry to make this work. Yeah, I don't know. I like to mount it to the stock sliders, but we have like a really narrow situation here, so not sure how this is gonna go. I may have to, you know, totally re-engineer this whole thing. So yeah, I'm gonna tear this down and I'll show you guys what I come up with here for these seats. So I got the rails unbolted. It wasn't that easy, but it also wasn't that hard. Not nearly as hard as something with like 1,000 wires going through it, like the modern stuff I work on. This stuff's still easy. So you got basically two bolts on this side where the couple of 14s and one 12 up top where it holds to the seat back, and that pulls this side off along with a clip for the harness. And so I got them remounted over here, and I have this one. This one is a bit harder. I ended up breaking the cover to get this. Oops! I ended up breaking the cover to get this handle out. There's probably a way you can break this handle and not break the cover, but something's got to give. I don't know what, but there's got to be a right way to do it. But I'm not reusing any of those covers, so it's not really a big deal. So I need to figure out if I want to try to separate the top rail, because I kind of want to retain the factory provision for the seatbelt. So I kind of need to figure out how to do that. So I'd like to maybe keep this bracket here and try to maintain that. I don't know. I want to try to get rid of this side. I was thinking about flattening this side, removing this whole top rail, but leaving that one. But I got to figure out a way to bolt it. So maybe if I remove both sliders, just the only problem is I got to find somewhere to bolt the seat buckle to. So I just got to try to figure this out logistically. I think I'm going to unbolt one of the sliders and sort of mock it up to this and just see what I can do here. I very well may need some sort of adapter plate that doesn't incorporate any of this and has a mount for that. So I got to see if I need to buy some seat brackets. Maybe I'll just do that to make it safer if it's not going to work out like that. So just got to try to brainstorm a little bit here now that I ripped this whole seat apart. But yeah, basically the back of the seat comes off. If you're just breaking it, it doesn't really matter. You just yank on it, and these two connectors are plastic tabs end up breaking off, and then you pull it out. It hooks out from the bottom, and then you just have this section here that folds back. You just pull this off of these guys. You gotta like get in there and pull it because it's like wrapped really tightly around like a nice groove. And then you pull this back, and you got a couple of bolts on this side for this side. So that's just that way you get off the other side without like cutting a hole in the seat. So now all the fabric's still good. This seat could really be put back together, minus a couple of broken clips that are in the bottom. But yeah, it's for the most part retained everything, and took this thing out and yada yada. So got all the bolts lying around over here. I'm just gonna see what we can do, and like I said, pull a slider off of one of the race seats and mock it up. All right, guys. So I kind of hit a point here where I decided to make a call, and I think that the safest thing to do is to buy the correct part for the job and buy the universal seat rail for these things, like the risers. They sell a kit. I've been looking at these here, and I just don't like any of the scenarios that I'm thinking about, because the problem is the seat tracks on the aftermarket seats are like 14 1/4, so it'll fit inside of this area. So I need to build some sort of bracketry, and I'd like for it to go from here to here and be like a big square that I cut the center hole out for weight, but yet have mounting locations on the inside. But the problem is this seat track is a different height than that one. So we're really looking at a lot of differences here. This just, the way these seats mount up, it's kind of not that easy. It's not flush. The floor is different. And you're sitting on pedestals here, so we can't move the tracks inwards to mount it. And I'm dealing with the seatbelt over here. So this comes with a provision to mount your seatbelt, and it has the brackets coming off of all the ends that will hold. So you basically put your seat on top of it and bolt it on that, and you just bolt it in like a regular seat. So I think that's the right way to do it, guys. I know it's expensive. They're almost 200 bucks. They're pretty much a little over $200 with tax for each. So I just ordered them. I bit the bullet. I don't like spending money, but this is just, I feel like I'll have 20 hours in bracket making on this, and it's just not gonna ever be what it could be just out of a nice piece that you buy that's CNC cut. It's just gonna bolt right up, guys, I hope, you know. And I know it's a little bit more money, but I can always use that with any seats ever in this car. So even if I wanted to upgrade the seats, I could use that bracket there. I already have it. So it is what it is. I bit the bullet and bought it. So that'll come here hopefully in a week. So we're gonna put this project on hold, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm sure you could make it work. I'm sure people might have done it, but I just think the safest thing to do is to buy those pedestals to bolt everything to. So that's what we did. So I'll let you guys know when that stuff comes in. All right, guys, so it's probably over a week later, and my brackets just came in. So I bit the bullet, and I bought the correct brackets from Planted. Yeah, here's the logo, guys. So it's from Planted, and they make seat bracket technology. That's what the little thing says on the sticker. So this gives me a way to mount my seat to the factory locations in the floor while maintaining something that's level and safe. This is really strong. I feel like, you know, whereas, I don't know, maybe not as strong as the stock seat. I think it's plenty strong enough for a collision. I don't think this is gonna lift off. It's got really good welds everywhere, and this is why I ordered it, just because I can weld, but like exhaust stuff. I don't know that I'd try to weld a roll cage or like this kind of seat bracket. I don't know. I probably could have done it. But I'm just thinking that this is probably stronger than anything that I could have created. And the seatbelt is in a predetermined location, which probably will be correct for it. So I just think that this is a good route to go. They're about 185 bucks a piece. So definitely kind of doubled the budget on the eBay seats. Now we're looking at like a $800 or $900 upgrade here for all these seats, but it is what it is, guys. These things are not cheap. So I'm gonna try to just throw the seat in and see how it looks, and maybe just sit in it, see where I'm gonna mount it. So yeah, hopefully I can get some nice hardware. I wanna make sure I get like really good hardware. I think the weak point on this is probably these sliders. They're not that bad, actually. They're like a little cheesy, but not that bad. So I don't know. That'll be the weak point. I guess we'll see. I'd like to put some washers as big as possible on here to get the surface area on the bolting, you know, as wide as possible. But I don't see that much room for that here. So hopefully we're able to securely fasten this thing with as many bolts as I can put in it, and it's overall safe. I'll let you guys know how stable it feels. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So got the test fit going on, and we got Dad on the camera, so hopefully he can adequately show you guys how awesome this actually feels and looks, because it's perfect. I sit higher in the car, which is always nice for visibility. I can tell because my mirror aims down a little bit. I got some sirens going on here. I got the wheel is like good. I can get much closer than this. I have the vice grip down low to the bracket, but yeah, you may not. Yeah, you can probably see the grips. But these, I got it seated directly in the center, and I have enough room forward and backwards. So I'll show you guys. I can go forward quite a bit here till I'm like uncomfortably close, and then I can go back really far, and I can't even reach the pedals at this point. So I got perfect movement here, and yeah, I think my vice grips are coming loose here, but anyway, it's working out really good, so I'm excited. The belt comes over in the correct spot. I haven't bolted the buckle down yet, but
yeah, pull the belt over.
Yeah,
it was perfect.
It goes
right
over there, and it's gonna go right down here, and I can feel where that thing bolts down here, where the little pedestal is for that. So it's gonna be perfect, guys. It's nice. It's honestly exactly what you want. So these, I can confirm these seats do fit well in this car. The headrests come up a little higher. The bolsters are good.
Hop out.
As long as I close the door and it fits.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Yeah, plenty of room on the side bolsters. These are not a wide seat, and I know a lot of people buy these, like I said, because they fit in C5 Corvettes, and no seats fit in a C5. So this is a cheap seat that fits in a C5. It also fits in this car because, you know.
I like how it hugs on the side, and also
and it's great. If you drop something down between the seat and the console, you can probably actually grab it. Anyway, what were you saying?
What I'm saying is I like how they hug the sides of you, and I also like how high they are. I was waiting for you to get out so I can show the height from the ceiling to the actual top of the seat.
Yeah. No, it's definitely
actually
nice.
no. I mean, up here, look, you can see how far the seat is to the roof, pretty close.
Yeah.
And then when you go to the other side, how far down it is.
Especially with that.
That is really cool.
It's a nice seat. I don't know. I like it. Really nice. I'm excited. Cool. So it's been some time since I last filmed. I know last clip I was sitting in the car. I got it a little bit more firmly mounted now. If you look, I mean, still a little bit of play because I don't think the rear's bolted tight, but the front's bolted tight, and it does sit nicely. I think it fits in the car perfectly with the door closed and without and everything. Like I showed you, it fits really good. So what I'm gonna do now, I think, is unbolt everything and yank it out of the car, and then I'm gonna try to figure out how I'm gonna bolt everything down. I got a bunch of hardware. Hopefully I have enough. And I'm gonna see if I can get it bolted down with all the grade A hardware off the vehicle, and then I'll bolt it back in. I think that's the best way to get everything cranked down tight, because it's hard to get in there. These do sit kind of low. So I'm gonna get this side finalized, and then I'll worry about doing the other side. But I'd like to get the car out kind of soon. It is getting kind of warm, and it would be cool on some of these nicer days to drive it. The salt is still on the roads. It's the end of March now, so you know, I think we're nearing the time where I can drive this. So I'm gonna throw everything back together under the hood, charging up the battery. Maybe I'll try to start it this weekend or something, and we'll see where we go from there. But yeah, I'm excited to get this thing back on the road, go to some shows this year. Yeah, so basically what I have here are these washers that I made on the bench grinder that you saw me making earlier. They fit right in the track here, which is nice. I'll show you up close. These bolts don't really, the track doesn't align that well, so these bolts don't really bottom out, but I think once I hit them, it should pull them down and align, you know, make room. And yeah, so I got this nice wide area here to, you know, apply a little bit of pressure on a long you know, like a longer span of an area on the seat rail versus just the head of the bolt, or, you know, this track is not, it's not the thickest. So I'm happy to add a little bit of rigidity with these washers. Not that it's going to do that much, but I think it's just a little bit safer, and it'll keep them from pulling through, because the worry is that this would shear, and the bolt head would stay, and it would just yank off. So if you can spread the surface area a little bit, it would have to shear more of this sheet metal. So I feel like that's less likely than if you just had the bolt head here. So you kind of gotta, you know, think about those things. I'm trying to make this as safe as possible, and I think that would be probably the failure point. So at least if we can keep it attached to this thing, we should be a little bit safer. So like I said before, I'm gonna run that through, and I'm gonna put a large washer to span these holes here, and then I'll put a smaller washer with a nut like this, and that should help to keep the nut from pulling through this larger washer and coming through here, because this is not, you know, it's not the craziest feat, you know, like it could happen. So we're gonna use all the proper washers, proper nuts and bolts. It's all important when you're doing seat stuff. We all have all grade 8 hardware, nice and strong. I don't want to go through the windshield, so we're gonna try to make it right. So I got the seat bolted on there really well, nice and tight. The sliders work great. I couldn't be happier, honestly. It's awesome. The only thing I need to figure out now is the seat belt. So I got this. I want it to go on the outside here. I think that'll work out perfect. It'll be right in the factory looking location. So I want to reuse the factory bolt, but this thread pitch is really hard to match. So I think the only way or place I'm going to get this nut is probably from this rail. So I'm going to have to try to cut the welds on all 4 corners of this nut here in order to get it off of this factory rail. And then I'm just going to put it inside here, and I think I'll use some Loctite. But that's pretty much it. I'm just going to put it at the right level, and then I could weld the nut to the back side of here, but I don't want to modify the bracket. I'm just going to leave it alone. And I think if I just tighten it with a wrench on it, which should be fine, I should be all set with some Loctite, like I said. So I'm going to try to get that situated. I'm going to try to cut this out, and then I can bolt the seat in, and we're done. And plug in my, you know, seatbelt thing. We'll be all set. So I'm excited. So I finally got it. Most of the nut is intact. It's kind of like sleeved. I ended up taking it to the bench grinder and just cleaning the backside up a little bit. I'm gonna face it this side flat on the inside, so this side doesn't really matter, but I wanted to keep it. I was gonna get rid of it, and then I was like, oh, it's extra threads. So I didn't really get rid of it. I kind of left a little area, so just kind of wire wheeled it a little bit and cleaned the nut up. So I'm gonna put this on, like I said, on the back side here, and then I'm gonna run this OE bolt through here, and then we'll tighten it on that nut on the back side, and we should be doing pretty good back there. We're gonna have all the threads, and yeah, hopefully it holds up. I don't think it's going to pivot like the stock one. Well, the stock one had a locator tab for this so that it wouldn't rotate. So we'll just crank it down, and it should not rotate. If it ends up coming loose or something, I'll know, because this thing will do one of these and I'll know it's loose. So we'll be good. I'm gonna see if I can find some Loctite for that guy. And if not, you know, if it comes loose, I'll know. You know, I'll have to fix it. But yeah, I think we're looking good. So I'm gonna see if I can get this stuff all mocked up here and bolted. I'll show you guys what it looks like. I may even put it in the car. So we got both sides done, guys. Look at that. The passenger side's all bolted in, everything's nice and tight. Just cranked down and everything. So it all worked out. So all you really need to do this mod is the seats and the brackets from Planted, which honestly made the install really easy. I'd probably do it again like this. A lot less fab work, cutting and all that stuff, and they're a lot more stable. You can see the brackets underneath there, and they look great. So everything's cranked down, and I'm happy. It's all nice and streamlined. It made it really an easy process. But the seats look great in there. That gray color is just perfect. I don't know. I know you got the light in the way, but Yeah, it looks really good, guys. I can't wait to get it outside and like take some real nice pictures of it and everything. I want to try to, that's something I want to do this year, is take better pictures of the car. And that's something that hopefully I can learn how to do. But yeah, I'm really stoked. I think they came out awesome, guys. So let me know what you think in the comments. Comment what you guys think about these seats, and stay tuned for some more videos. I should be taking this thing out. I'm hoping this weekend. I know the roads aren't like the best yet and there's still salt everywhere, but as long as it isn't too bad, I might take it out for a little rip, get some fresh gas in it, and try to get this thing going for the season. So yeah, I'm excited, and it's long overdue. Can't wait to drive this thing around again and give you guys some more good content this year and see if we can pop this motor or see if it holds together. So yeah, I definitely want to turn it up. So it's going to be fun, whether she goes or she blows. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and stay tuned for more videos on the Accord this year. And that's that. Remember to subscribe, guys, because the channel's growing so huge. It's cranking right now. The building the Accord in 12 minutes video is just ripping. So I'm excited, and I can't wait to make some more cool videos for you guys. The more the channel does well, the more motivated I am, guys. So it's just only a matter of time before it blows up. I'm excited. We're killing it. Thank you. I appreciate it. Peace.